Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. Today is Wednesday, the 8th of March, 2023, and I am looking at this awesome new Fortnite figure, Mothmando, who I've been after for a while since I first saw him, but first time I saw him, someone else bought him, but I've got him now because I'm loving that head sculpt. I think that is absolutely fantastic, and he comes with like a light shade, which is quite funny, as he's a weapon or harvesting tool, because moths go around to lights. There's like bullet holes in his ears or something. He is number 204 of Series 21 solo mode, and shows other ones that come in this as too. And this is from last year, 2022, but I haven't seen it being that available. There's a couple of shops in UK have had it up for a order, but I haven't actually been able to order it from them yet. Looks nice. This one I got quite cheap. As you can see, it's being open and stapled shut, but it is complete. I believe there's no wings he comes with, even though there's wings on the artwork on the back. Okay, so I'm going to open this up, set them up, and let's get into this. If you like this sort of content, please consider joining the Patreon. Link in the top right of your screen now. You can see all the reviews as soon as they're uploaded. No waiting around 1 day, 4 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month plus. And also there's exclusive content that pops up now and then, and you get free and inclusive and extra entries into our prize draws and raffles when they happen. Okay, I'll be back in an instant. Okay, here he is in a action pose. Very quick and easy to set up and to balance. He does look good. There are some things I like about him, and I have one or two things that, well, one thing at the moment that I'm not too keen on, but I'm still loving the head sculpt. So let's get a close look. I'll bring them closer to the camera to straighten him out a little bit. So first thing is, look at that head sculpt. That is fantastic. The eyes look good. The colouring's pretty good with the yellow in the middle going out to the orange. That little nose part is cool. The ears themselves, or antenna, are very bendy and floppy, so don't get in the way. The hood section is quite soft, but that will come off if you want to come off. I'll have a look at taking it off in a minute. The little light's pretty cool, but it's not completely straight, so if you try and stand it up it falls over. This is a rubbery soft part. Thighs we seem very similar. I'm not keen on really the lower legs and feet. I prefer something a bit more sci-fi perhaps, and I prefer having something open or something a bit more set up for wings in the back. You can plug your wings in, but it won't look, well, maybe they would look good, I'm not sure yet. Also, these shoulder parts are quite flexible, malleable too, which means they shouldn't impede articulation. You can see too much. He does get over, or 90 degrees there. In fact, he gets over 90 degrees. But look at that, and we do articulation now. Okay, in fact, before I do articulation, let me just see if I can pop him apart. Okay, so, let's see. There we go. So this part has to go on first. It's separate to the actual normal waist section, I think. Or was it part of it? Yeah, separate to the normal waist section. Get a Fortnite. That one first, body on after. Head I'll try and do off camera. Don't want to break it. That's going to be not easy to take off. That might be a boil and pop, because the problem is the place for gripping is the actual snout, and I don't want to break that snout, so I won't do that just yet. But you can see it does get some motion there. I think, yeah, I think that'll look better without having it on. But you can't, and that looks like it moves from the top and not the bottom, so I think it's part of the sculpt lower down. Makes it harder to pop the head off. Okay, I'm going to pause this, try and pop the head off, and I'll be back in an instant. So back in an instant. Okay, so I've heated it up and I've popped off the head. Here is the head. Very, very nice. A couple of marks, that was from me just now, by trying not to heat it up first. I'm trying to pry it off, but heating up was easy. Very, very cool indeed. And then you can see that this part here is actually, you could peel it off maybe. Yeah, it's stuck in the back here, and the front looks like it's glued down a bit there, which is a bit of a shame. You could feel that the gap in the back easily, but the front is going to be just too unsculpted underneath perhaps. Okay, so let's just put him back together. Though no doubt I'll be taking head off again in the future. Oh, that's hard to put on. Let's go. Hey! There we go, he's on. Let's have a look at his articulation. I will zoom out just a little bit. Articulation. So he can look left and right. He can go down and up. And he has a sort of side to side. Shoulders will be around, and we saw that he gets over 90 degrees. over flat, which is great. Biceps look like they're going to be really, really bad, but let's have a look. So this way. Yeah, you can see he's got that ratchet, and he gets almost 90 depending on the angle. Hands is the typical, is it typical Fortnite? Yeah, typical Fortnite wave articulation. He's got trunk, he can turn slightly, dip slightly, forwards, backwards slightly. Waist, hardly anything, but together, a bit more movement, not a lot more. Hips, sculpting gets in the way, which is a shame. So normally they're great on hips. Forwards is alright, backwards is small. There's a thigh twist, double kneecap. Gets over flat. It should be better than that, really, but unfortunately the thigh's a bit too big too soon. And then feet, typical Fortnite feet. We have the swivel. We have a tippy toe, which is, to be honest, not great. And we have a dorsiflexation, which is okay. I like him a lot, but that's just head sculpt mainly. Not so keen on the feet and lower legs. The head sculpt's fantastic. If I do a quick size check, if he will stand up for me. That foot there, come on. Okay. So size-wise, with the antenna stroke ears, he's going to be a bit on the bigger side. So you can see he goes up to about 12 to the top of the ears. Top of the head is about 10.5 maybe. So he's good size. If we compare him to a Fresh Retro, little sort of robot, and these are fantastic figures. I'll stick a link in the top right for you if you've not seen this review yet. Great figures. But I'm not sure if Fresh Retro are still going. I hope they are, because they make fantastic stuff. Okay, you can see that he scales well and is slightly bigger than the Fresh Retro. Let's zoom in a little bit for this. There we go. Let's scale him with a... what shall I use? Aha. I'll scale him with one of my Epoch Capsule Toy Space Android Robot Skeleton thingies. If that makes sense. Again, I'll put a link in the top right for you. These are great toys, which you build yourself. Scales perfectly well with that too. And now let me scale him with, or compare him to, my Putinator, my Joy Toy Regio the Risen, with a custom Vladimir Putin Terminator head on the top. Bang. Okay, so let's get an idea how he scales to a Joy Toy, or mostly Joy Toy figure. I will move this guy over there slightly. And we can see that scales perfectly well with the Joy Toy. And then lastly, I use Acid Rain World, my favorite, one of my favorites, the Narinu Sentinel. With the, and I've got a slight custom here, but I've put a Fortnite fade head on because it kind of looks better. And you can see again, scales well with the Narinu Sentinel. Great figure by Fortnite, mainly for that head sculpt. I'm sure someone will cast them in the future, but casting those little parts here is going to be a nightmare. Because they're going to be so fragile at the tip. You have to really let that resin dry for a long time to get any sort of strength in that. Okay, this is Awesome Actor signing out, saying please like, share, subscribe. Again, please consider joining the Patreon, and I'll see you in the next video soon. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye-bye.